Is this young black lady truly a victim, or is this just propaganda? Is she being used to somehow push some kind of Black Lives Matter movement? They're still in the streets killing black people trope? Is it propaganda, or was an innocent individual wrongly attacked by the very same people who were supposed to protect them? Officials confirm body cam footage of pregnant woman or suspect holding a gun was not photoshopped. Hear this. Officials claim body cam footage of a pregnant suspect was not photoshopped. This title to me screams propaganda. It screams attention. It screams false news. I'm not sure, but let's get into the article and see what's said. So, in the name of transparency, after being accused of doctoring a photo, the prosecutors and the mayor's office in Kansas City released a still shot of a pregnant black suspect, okay, with a gun in hand before she was shot by police. Is a suspect in an armed carjacking. Okay. Originally, leftists claimed that she was unarmed as she exited the vehicle and had her hands up when officers shot her. An image in the body cam footage tells an entirely different tale. The Mayor Quinn Lucas' office has confirmed the legitimacy of the photo and stated that it was not photoshopped despite claims from the left. Body cameras have been a positive addition to reaching the truth in the public safety investigations, which is true. I appreciate the prosecutor today sharing facts and an image that clarify the public narrative concerning last Friday's shooting. I understand from where questions come. I also understand that our early release of information can help answer questions. We will continue to work hard to get the whole truth out on issues as facts as we can. I continue to pray for all impacted by Friday's incident. Why not release a video and show the world that this is not doctored? I mean, let's be clear for a second. How can you doctor a gun into a video that clearly isn't edited? Because think about it, like how can you get a gun with such a quality of that specific video to make it look real if it was doctored? Like we have to think about that for a second. If it was going to be Photoshop, how many times would this video have to be viewed to then be photoshopped to make the item actually look like it's being held? Because that's the only way you're going to get the most realistic sense of it. But like, there's animation tools that could be used, but realistically, like, even with that, what kind of gun could they have animated hypothetically to make it look real? And there's a completely different side of the coin where this could actually be this lady committing a crime. Like this could be this young lady actually in this crime of the carjacking she's being accused of. So is she really a bystander, or did she really commit the crime and they're trying to paint a criminal as a victim? The still photo is blurry and is not a high quality shot according to the mayor's office. The mayor personally watched the body camera video showing the suspect allegedly holding a gun when she was shot 3 times on May 27th, according to a Missouri State Patrol investigation. Okay. So I'm not sure what the gun control law is in Missouri. Even if it is the right to openly carry, why would she be openly carrying in such a way based on how this still shot was released, where it looks like she's in some kind of defensive position or she's running from something, or she's clearly in a position where her weapon is drawn and you could see that there's some kind of panic. there's some kind of situation going on where it's like the gun could possibly be discharged if this gun is supposedly real, right? Investigators reviewed the footage and noted that an officer could be heard giving several verbal commands to drop the firearm, and the suspect was observed to be still pointing the firearm in the victim's direction. 3 gunshots were heard, and 2 officers reported they discharged their firearm. So this sounds like a criminal scenario, but we're holding reservations until the end. A suspect handgun was located in the parking lot near a vehicle. Sergeant Andy Bell with MSHP stated. Court records indicate that the body-worn camera video showed that Hale stumbled and fell to the ground after she was shot and did not appear to have a firearm in her hand at that point. So essentially, they discharged, and they could see at some point she dropped the weapon after they discharged their firearms. Police say that she was placed in handcuffs and officers called EMS to respond. Her injuries were initially described as serious, but she is now reportedly in stable condition. During an initial interview, Hale denied having a gun or anything in her hands, according to the court records. Detectives say Hale requested a lawyer when they asked to interview her a second time. You denied him after an interview after the second time. I'm not sure why you let them interview you in the first place. But I'll get deeper into that after I finish reading this section. A woman who recorded the incident shared the video online, claiming that Hale was unarmed when she was shot. On Wednesday, prosecutors released the image of a suspect recorded on a police body-worn camera that purportedly showed a gun in Hale's hand. After going through some more of the tweets and just hearing the general consensus, there are some mixed opinions, but I found one tweet rather interesting. It says, 2 Kansas City police officers shoot unarmed 26-year-old pregnant black woman Friday night. She exited a vehicle with her hands in the air and they shot her 5 times. But they didn't run into a school where kids were being massacred. Imagine thinking this is Photoshopped, what someone went in and cropped out an ankle and hand. Why? If she had been Photoshopped in, she wouldn't be missing her ankle like this. So out of the 2 issues, the first issue is, why would you speak to a police officer about getting shot? And you consciously know, or at least you had enough time to recollect that at no point in time you were deemed as a target of threat. So I'm failing to see why someone who's completely innocent would speak with the police officers first, but the person who is completely innocent is the suspect of interest. Like, I just don't think that makes sense. I don't think it makes sense for the suspect to say, I didn't have a weapon, but want to speak to the officers first and then say, I want a lawyer. Like, I just don't think that makes sense. If I'm someone who's innocent and I know that I just got shot by a police officer for no reason, I'm suing the department. I'm suing the county, whatever, whoever it is, I don't care, right? But I'm suing. So it's like I'm lawyering up already. I'm not speaking to any police officers. I'm speaking to my lawyers, and they can then speak to my lawyer. So from the aspect of someone who is truly a victim, it wouldn't make sense to speak to a police officer first and then say I'm going to get my lawyer when they request a second request to speak to you. Because the first request is going through the lawyer. Like, we're not even talking at this point. I'm taking civil action against you. They're interviewing you to find out, did you have a weapon when you were shot? And if you're thinking to yourself for a moment, at no point did I have a weapon. At no point was I ever in a situation where I realized that I was being deemed as the threat in this situation. There would be no reason for you to even say, I'm going to speak with you. Automatically, I'd be ready to file charges. I wouldn't be speaking to the police department So the second issue is a witness released a video showing this lady was unarmed, but the police officers have a completely different body camera video showing that this lady was armed. I have two thoughts here. Either this is a video of a completely different person, possibly within the same state, which would then show that the department is, just literally trying to kill black people, or the witness that claims that she was unarmed caught the video from an angle where the gun could not be seen. That's something to think about. It could possibly be mistaking this young lady for a completely different person and claiming her as the suspect, and she possibly armed herself and then she got shot for already arming herself, or this lady's just a criminal. Honestly, like, I'm looking at the examples I just gave and I'm just like, even those are slightly far-fetched based on how I'm viewing the situation. Because I'm like, she could be the suspect. She's being framed and used as propaganda, which it's entirely possible. But my thing is, again, they have a video. If it's not doctored, release the video. Some false narratives about what happened last Friday night at 6th and Prospect Avenue, unfortunately, were relied upon by some media and other sources. Our job as prospects is to remain neutral and review all evidence, Prospector John Peter Baker said in a statement on Wednesday. Our review of body cam videos provided the actual accounting of events that night. Our review of the investigation revealed the defendant, although she denied having a weapon at the time of the encounter with the law enforcement officers, continually displayed a weapon during her encounter with the police officers and appeared to be attempting to flee. Baker continued. Two officers stated that she was armed with what they believed to be a handgun. Body camera footage confirms the officer's statement that Hale was holding a handgun. Still photos taken from the body cam footage of this encounter also demonstrated a weapon was present in the hands of the defendant. Kansas City, Missouri, for Fraternal Order of the Police President Brad Lemon slammed the media this Thursday morning after they promoted the other video taken by the woman who claimed Hale was unarmed. So it's saying that the defendant was charged with unlawful possession of a firearm, unlawful use of a weapon, and restraining lawful detention. So after reading the full article and going through everything, I'm not really sure what to believe, but I believe propaganda. I believe propaganda because I find it very hard to believe that an entire department is going to risk itself to just simply kill people, to just simply kill people. Like, I don't think that really makes a lot of sense. Like, let's be honest. Like, it doesn't really make sense that it never makes sense when it actually happens and they let it go, but it doesn't really make sense to openly do it. And there's footage of people who literally saying, "Hey, that's not true. The situation they're making it up." That to me, it just doesn't make sense that a police department will go to such great lengths to Photoshop a still image, and then you have people like the mayor stating that they saw the footage themselves. At what point do we get where damn near every case with a black person is essentially going to try to be chalked up to Black Lives Matter? Now, I'm not saying this to say when black hate crimes do take place that they shouldn't be documented, but in most situations, they're not being painted like this. They're making it seem like out the gate the black person does nothing wrong and they follow the situation. They follow what's going on, and what takes place is an actual hate crime. As of this moment, I'm not really seeing anything that points me to this as a hate crime. I'm not really getting anything that would scream I was I was assaulted. You know what I mean? Like, as a black person, if I'm gonna get shot for no reason at all, I'm not speaking to the police, I'm suing. Like I said earlier, like I'm suing. I'd have no reason to actually want to talk to you. So I'm just failing to understand how they're trying to make it seem like she's innocent. She partook in a carjacking, but she's not being charged for the carjacking. Like, there's so many things going on here where I can't really see it's a hate crime right now. Like, I want to know your thoughts. I want to know, what do you guys think about this? Like, I'm not too sure what to call this. I can't say it's a hate crime just yet, but I also can't say that she's innocent. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a strong believer in whatever evidence comes out that we can all see and look at and then valuably put together makes sense. But I want to see if the body cam videos gets released. But what do you guys think? What do you think of this? A black lady gets shot. They're claiming she's a victim who exited the car. However, the police department saying that she's a suspect in the carjacking, and then she got shot, and then she chose to speak with the police department and claim she had no weapon. So why speak to them in the first place? Why not prepare yourself to sue? Now that you know that they put you in the hospital for no reason. That's just me. That's just how I'm looking at the situation. I think it's more propaganda. I think she could really be the suspect, but only time will truly tell. But tell me what you guys think, and hopefully we get some real answers. The body camera footage could possibly be released, and we could get down to the bottom of this, because we got one video from one angle, we got another video from another angle, and then we have a picture. So the picture came from somewhere, so either the picture is going to come from that body camera footage or it's not. So we'll see what really happens. Tell me what you guys think about this case. Tell me, guys, what you think about this article. Do you like stories like these? Do you not? What do you think could be improved? If you have anything you would like for me to cover specifically, leave it in the comment section for me below, or just drop it anywhere. It doesn't really matter to me. But seriously, just leave me a comment of your thoughts and opinions. Drop anything below that you'd like for me to cover, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Thank you for kicking it with me, Lamar, Undamaged, and I'll catch you in the next one.